Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Boris Johnson says sorry, again, after receiving police fine for COVID-19 breach. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has offered what he called a wholehearted apology after he was fined £50, $88, by police for breaking lockdown rules. Mr. Johnson said he did not know a birthday gathering at the height of the pandemic was in breach of the rules that he had set. The UK opposition argued the Prime Minister must resign after he and other members of his party broke COVID-19 rules in Downing Street and then repeatedly lied to Parliament when he said all guidelines had been met. Mr. Johnson told the House of Commons he had not deliberately misled Parliament but said that it had never occurred to him that he was in breach of the rules. He acknowledged that the public had a right to expect better. His apology came as the Speaker of the House said a vote could be held on Thursday into whether Mr. Johnson should be investigated over claims he misled Parliament. Under the Ministerial Code, knowingly misleading Parliament is an offence that should result in resignation. As soon as I received the notice from police, I acknowledged the hurt and the anger, and I said that people had a right to expect better of their Prime Minister, Mr. Johnson told Parliament. Labour opposition leader Sir Keir Starmer accused the Prime Minister of failing to respect the sacrifices made by the British public during lockdowns and of demeaning his office. Urging him to resign, he said the Prime Minister had the chance to bring decency, honesty and integrity back into our politics and stop the denigration of everything that this country stands for. Mr. Johnson told Parliament in December that all guidance was followed completely over the lockdown restrictions. He was fined by the police last week after an internal inquiry found Downing Street held alcohol-fueled parties at a time when people were not allowed to attend funerals or visit the sick. Parliament vote to decide if full inquiry is needed. Politicians will now vote on Thursday on whether Mr. Johnson should be referred to Parliament's Privileges Committee for a full inquiry. However, the motion is unlikely to pass because Mr. Johnson retains the support of most in his Conservative Party and can still command a majority in Parliament. In his first statement to Parliament since being handed the fine, Mr. Johnson attempted to deflect some of the criticism by talking about other issues he is dealing with, including the war in Ukraine, the energy crisis and immigration. However, the police have investigated 12 gatherings in Downing Street and the Prime Minister could be fined again. John Whittingdale, a former Conservative minister, said while many of his constituents were angry, now was not the time to replace the Prime Minister because of the war in Ukraine. We currently face the gravest crisis in our global security for a long time, and it is essential that we remain focused on beating Putin and stopping the aggression against Ukraine, he said. Reuters.